You guys are going to have to bear with me through chapter 5 here. The 100 Dresses, which is the title of chapter 5. The next day it was drizzling. Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. Naturally, on a day like this, they didn't wait for Wanda Pentrosky on the corner of Oliver Street. The street that far, far away, under the railroad tracks and up on the hill, led to Boggins Heights. Anyway, they weren't taking chances on being late today, because today was important. "Do you think Miss Mason will surely announce the winners today?" asked Peggy. "Oh, I hope so. I hope they do the minute we give in," said Maddie, and added, "And of course you'll win, Peg." "I hope so," said Peg eagerly. The minute they entered the classroom, they stopped short and gasped. There were drawings all over the room, on every ledge and windowsill, tacked to the tops of the blackboards and spread over the bird charts, dazzling colors and all brilliant, lavish designs, all drawn on great sheets of paper. There must have been 100 of them all lined up. These must be the drawings for the contest. They were. Everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly. As soon as the class had assembled, Miss Mason announced the winners. Jack Bagels had won the boys. She said his design of an outboard motor was on exhibit in room 12, along with the sketches by all the other boys. And as for the girls, she said, although just 1 or 2 sketches were submitted by most, one girl, in room 13, should be very proud of herself. This one girl actually drew 100 dresses, all different and all beautiful. In the opinion of the judges, any one of her drawings is worthy of the winning prize. I am happy to say that Wanda Pentrosky is the winner of the girls' medal. Unfortunately, Wanda has been absent from school for some days and is not here to receive the applause that is due to her. Get down. Let us hope she will be back tomorrow. Now, class, you may file around the room quietly and look at her exquisite drawings. The children burst into applause, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor, put their fingers in their mouths, and whistle, though they were not interested in dresses. Yuck. Maddie and Peggy were among the first to reach the blackboard to look at the drawings. "Look, Peg," whispered Maddie. "There's that blue one she had told us about. Isn't it beautiful?" "Yeah," said Peggy. And there's that green one, and boy, I thought I could draw." While the class was swirling around the room, monitor the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Then she clapped her hands and said, "Attention, class. Everyone back to his or her seat." When the shuffling of feet had stopped and the room was still quiet, Miss Mason had said, "I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read." Miss Mason stood there a moment, and the silence in the room grew tense and expectant. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. Her manner indicated that what was coming in this letter from Wanda's father was a matter of great importance. Everybody listened closely as Miss Mason read the brief note. "Dear teacher, my Wanda will not be going to your school anymore. Jake also. Now we move away to big city. No more holler Pollock. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in big city. Yours truly, Jan Pentrosky." A deep silence met the reading of this letter. Miss Mason took her glasses off, blew on them, and wiped them on her soft white handkerchief. Then, when she put them on again and the class looked, when she spoke, her voice was very low. "I am sure none of my boys and girls in room 13 would purposely and deliberately hurt anyone's feelings because his or her name was long or an unfamiliar one. I prefer to think that what was said was in thoughtlessness. I know that all of you feel the way I do, that this is a very unfortunate thing to have happen. Unfortunate and sad, both. And I want all of you to think about it. The first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not keep her mind on her work. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy and Wanda ask about them dresses she had in her closet. But she had said nothing. She had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as what Peggy had done. Worse, she was a coward. At least Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean, but she, Maddie, had thought they were doing wrong. She had thought, supposing she was the one being made fun of, she could put herself in Wanda's shoes. But she had done just as much as Peggy to make life miserable for Wanda by simply standing by and saying nothing. She had helped to make someone so unhappy that she had had to move away from town. Goodness, wasn't there anything she could do? If only she could tell Wanda she hadn't meant to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy, but Peggy did not look up. She seemed to be studying hard. Well, whether Peggy felt badly or not, she, Maddie, had to do something. She had to find Wanda Pentrosky. Maybe she had not yet moved away. Maybe Peggy would climb up the heights with her and they would tell Wanda that she had won the contest and that they thought that she was smart and that the 100 dresses were beautiful. And when school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not." So Peggy had had the same idea as Maggie had had. Maggie glowed. Peggy was really all right, just as she has always thought. Peggy was really all right. She was just okay.